Now we come on to the second set that was there. A box contains 15 blue balls and 45 black balls. If two balls were selected randomly without replacement, obviously the balls, since the word replacement, without replacement has been said, the balls must have been selected one after the other, and it is corroborated in the next part where it says in which the first selected ball and the second selected ball, so they have been selected one after the other, right? So two balls are selected randomly one after the other without replacing the first ball before picking up the second. So the probability of an outcome in which the first selected is a blue ball and the second selected is a black ball is how much? That's very simple. First of all, what is the total number of balls? What is the total number of balls? It is 15 plus 45, which is equal to 60. So in the first selection, the probability of a blue ball, of picking up a blue ball, would be, see, the total outcome is 60 C1. You are picking up one ball out of this 60, and from that you have picked up a blue ball. So the favorable outcome has been 15 C1. This is the probability, which is nothing but 15 by 60, which is nothing but 1 by 4. So the probability of the blue ball is this. Now the second selection, and let us not forget, you haven't replaced the blue ball that you picked up. So that blue ball is suppose in your pocket. So next, in the second selection, the probability of selecting a black ball is what I will have to calculate, because in the second selection you are picking up a black ball, it has been said. So the total outcome would be how much? Let us not forget that out of the 60 balls, one ball is in your pocket. So basically it should be 59 left, out of which you are selecting one. Now what should be the favorable outcome? See, the ball that is in your pocket is a blue ball. So the number of black balls has had no change. So out of 45 black balls, you have picked up one black ball. So it is 45 C1. So the probability of a black ball would be 45 by 59. Cancellation is not possible. 59 is a prime number. So the total selection, I mean the total probability, the overall probability would be how much? The overall probability is such that first is blue and second is black without replacement would be given by 1 by 4 into 45 by 59. That would be equal to 45 by 9 fours are 36, 23. So 45 by 236. See, this is the option. Okay, I hope this is all right. A digital watch X beeps every 30 seconds, while digital Y beeps every 32 seconds. They beeped together at 10 a.m. The immediate next time that they will beep together is how much? Okay, so it's very simple. Find out the LCM of 30 and 32. So what is the LCM of 30 and 32? See, from here you can take 2 common. So if you take 2 common, then this is 15 and this is 16, which are co-prime to each other. So the LCM would be 2 into 15 into 16, which is 480. So 480 seconds Yes, 480 seconds is the LCM. That 480 seconds can be transferred into minutes by dividing by 60. So 480 by 60 is equal to 8 minutes. So you can say that after 8 minutes, all of them will beat together. So they have beat at 10 a.m. So after 8 minutes, it will be 10:08 a.m. So this is the correct option. Let uh, well, once again, this is a misprint. Either this should be written AM or else this should have been PM. Which one you prefer? Okay, because if it is PM, then it is 10:08 PM. The option is correct. But if this is AM, the option should have been 10:08 AM, because you see none of this is 10:08 is mentioned. So I mean, I hope you can understand. Well, I don't know what I will tick, but tentatively I'm ticking this because obviously it is a case of misprinting between AM and PM. But I hope you have understood the problem. Consider the following sentences. They have asked you which of the above sentences are grammatically correct. Okay, so let us check. The number of candidates who appear for the GATE examination is staggering. Well, this is obviously correct, absolutely correct. A number of candidates from my class are appearing for the GATE examination. A number of candidates from my class. No, wait, just a second, just a second, just a second. They have asked you which are grammatically correct. No, no, my apologies. The number of candidates who appear for the GATE examination is staggering. Let us check these. A number of candidates from my class are appearing for the GATE examination. This is absolutely correct. The number of candidates who appear for the GATE examination are staggering. This is correct. The first one was not correct because the word is was getting used. Okay, so this one is wrong because of the is. It should have been are staggering. And a number of candidates from my class is appearing for the GATE examination. A number of candidates from my class is appearing. So you see, once again, this is, since there is a plural, it should have been are. So this is there, so hence this is wrong. So these two are right. So I will say number 2 and 3 are correct. Now, yes, this one is correct. But I presume that in one of these I made an error. So I am here just to rectify that small portion. Let us observe this question. In this question, I had said that the correct option was D, wherein 2 and 3 are correct. No, I was mistaken. If you remember that initially while I was talking about the answer, I had indeed said that this one was correct. But then there was some lapse of concentration or whatever, and then suddenly things, I mean, changed. So you see, because it has been said the number of candidates, so the number of candidates is always considered as singular. The number together is taken as one unit. So here is staggering will be the correct one. And in this case, R would have been the wrong one. So this is the rectification that I wanted. Here is would be the right option. And hence, instead of number D, the correct option for this question would have been 1 and 2. This was the corriendum which I just wanted you to know. Thank you. The world is going through the worst pandemic in the past 100 years. The air travel industry is facing a crisis as the resulting quarantine requirement for travelers. Travelers will have a double L, okay? So there's a printing error. As travelers led to a weak demand. The world is going through the worst pandemic in the past 100 years. The air travel industry is facing a crisis as the resulting quarantine requirement for travelers led to weak demand. In relation to the first sentence above, what does the second do? Well, the second is obviously a effect of the first one. Because of the first sentence, the second took place. So let us check the options. Number A, restates an idea from the first statement. No, wrong. Restates an idea from the first statement means it says the same thing as the first statement does. Restates. But that is not the case. It's saying an entirely different thing. The next, second sentence entirely contradicts the first statement. Absolutely not. It perfectly supports it. The two statements are unrelated. Not at all. They are perfectly related. You see, the second statement states an effect of the first statement, which was what we originally said. So, number D is the correct option here. Given below are two statements 1 and 2 and two conclusions 1 and 2. All entrepreneurs are wealthy. So, by means of a Venn diagram, we can say that you see this can be the Venn diagram. These are entrepreneurs and these are wealthy. All entrepreneurs are wealthy. There could be another Venn diagram. See, all entrepreneurs are wealthy. Second one, all wealthy are risk seekers. So you see, all wealthy are risk seekers. It could also have been this, all wealthy are risk seekers. Now we will have to combine them. So the most, effective two combinations would be this one. Now if we combine them, what happens? Well, there is only one case that will be possible. These are risk seekers, these are wealthy, and these are entrepreneurs. So this is the case. Now let us check the conclusions. All risk seekers are wealthy. No, all risk seekers aren't wealthy. So this is a wrong statement. Only some entrepreneurs are risk seekers. No, all entrepreneurs are risk seekers. So this is also wrong. So I will say neither conclusion 1 nor 2 is correct. Okay, so this one will be the correct one. Okay, 5 persons P, Q, R, S, and T are to be seated in a row, all facing the same direction, but not necessarily in the same order. P and T cannot be seated at either end of the row. P should not be seated adjacent to R. S. R is to be seated at the second position from the left end of the row. How many distinct arrangements are possible? Let us see. 5 persons are there. All are facing this direction. So R is to be seated at the second position from the left end of the row. So the R's position is always this. This is a permanent fixture. Now the others P and T cannot be seated at either end of the row, and P should not be seated adjacent to S. Well, so what can be the different cases? Well, we can say that if such is the case, we can say that If P and T cannot be seated at either ends of the row, then either P has to sit here and T has to sit here, or else T has to sit here and T has to sit here. Naturally, because neither P nor T will sit at either end of the row. In that case, who are going to sit at the either end? The only people left are Q and S. But it has been said that P should not be seated adjacent to S. So here, let us not take it like this. Let us take only one case. So let us suppose P is sitting here and T is sitting here. The second case would be R is here, P is sitting here and T is sitting here. Let us take these two cases. You see, P and T. We had previously taken them at one case. Now we separate them. Now the other two left are Q and S. But P should not be seated adjacent to S, which is fine. You see, P is adjacent, only R and T are sitting. So S is perfectly safe. So either S sits here and hence Q sits here, or else Q sits here and S sits here. So we have two cases. Now in this case, S can definitely not sit here because it is adjacent to Q. So the only one case can result, this one. So this is one case. There are no other possibilities that can result. So we will say totally 2 plus 1 is equal to 3 distinct arrangements or cases as we refer to. So the answer will be B. Okay. Well, they have said these codes are there. You see. And this. Now from this we can very easily and with a little bit of thought we can say that all these cases can only be possible, see, if this were 6 and this were 3. See, if such is this is 6 and this were 3, then this is 6 and this were 2. It is possible. So you see this was 3 and this is 2. So 3 plus 2 is indeed 5. And you see this one is 2 and this one we don't know. So this one is 5. So you see we have identified all of them. We have identified that this is equal to 6. We have identified that this is equal to 3. We have identified that this is sorry, that's a repetition. We have identified that this triangle is equal to 2, and we have also identified that this multiplication sort of thing is equal to 5. So we have identified all of this. So what will be the value of this? So you see that multiplication sort of thing is 5 minus this plus sort of thing is 6. So 5 minus 6 whole square is minus 1 whole square. That is equal to 1. So we will say C is the correct answer. The front door of Mr. X's house faces east. So suppose this is the house of Mr. X and suppose this is the front door. So the front door faces east. Mr. X leaves the house walking 50 meters straight. Oh, from the back door. So there is also a back door here. So this is the back door. This is the front door. This is the back door. So then the back door he goes. He walks straight 50 meters. So he walks straight 50 meters. He then turns to his right. So his right would be this. Walks for another 50 meters. Okay. So he walks for another 50 meters and stops. So he stops here. The direction of the point Mr. X is located at with respect to his starting point is in which direction? Means they have asked you the direction of this. So we will say if this is east, then this is west. And if this is east and this is west, then this must be north and this must be south. So this direction must be southwest. So we will say it is. So once again, another printing error. Obviously, Mr. X was stated from the back door that is situated directly opposite to the front door. So the back door is west. They have said that Mr. X's house faces east. So his house is facing east. Front door. So he goes, walks right. That means he turns south. Oh no, this is the where I make the mistake. No, 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 no. If this is east and this is west, then this is north. My apologies. And this is south. So obviously, this would be northwest, right? Northwest would be the answer. So this is the correct answer. The ratio of the area of the inscribed circle means inside, to the area of the circumscribed circle, which means outside, of an equilateral triangle is how much? Now I presume all of us understand that if there is an equilateral triangle and I draw the perpendicular from the vertex, so this acts also as the median of the triangle. Median means which bisects the opposite side, which connects it to the midpoint, and hence because this is the median, it is divided into the ratio of 2:1 by this point, which is known as the centroid or the center of gravity. Okay, so 2:1 is the ratio. We must all be knowing that. We must also know that if the side of the equilateral triangle is A, then say suppose the triangle is ABC and this median be say AM and this centroid be say D, then we all know that AM is equal to root 3 by 2A. By Pythagoras theorem it can be obtained. This is so common that this actually is itself a formula sort of. I mean, people remember this. So that is it. So we can say that AD would be 2/3 of root 3 by 2A. I hope you can understand, which would be nothing but A by root 3, and DM would be nothing but 1/3 of root 3 by 2A, because this whole AM is divided in the ratio of 2:1. So I'm taking the smaller one. So that would be equal to 1 by 2 root 3A. So I presume we all understand this funda. Now, if there is a circumcircle, I mean a circumscribed circle, the radius of that is the centroid. I mean the center of that is the centroid, and the radius of that is this one, AD. Right. So what will be the area of this? What will be the area of this circle? Naturally, it would be pi into r, that is AD square. Now, if we are drawing an in circle, this is known as an in circle. Circumscribed inside is an in circle. The center of this in circle is also the centroid. In case of an equilateral triangle, The center of this is also the centroid. But the radius now is dm. So we can say this is for the circumcircle. This is for the circumscribed circle. And for the inner circle, we can say that the area would be pi into dm square. They have asked us the ratio of this. So basically the ratio of this would be equal to AD square is to dm square. But we already know AD and dm is how much? See, here you can see. So we can say now that this would be a by root 3 whole square is to a by 2 root 3 whole square. That is equal to a square by 3 is to a square by 4 into 3. So a square cancels, 3 cancels. So the ratio is 1 is to 1 by 4. That is equal to 4 is to 1. I hope you can understand. Now you see here they have asked you the ratio of the area of the inscribed circle first, then the circumscribed circle. We have taken the circumscribed first and the in later. So obviously it will be the reverse. Hence you will say that the ratio is 1 by 4. I hope we understood that. Consider a square sheet of side 1 unit. Okay. A square sheet of side 1 unit. Side is 1 unit. T sheet. It should be the sheet. It should be the sheet. The sheet is first folded along the main diagonal. So it is first folded along the main diagonal. This is followed by a fold along its line of symmetry. So once you fold it along its diagonal, it becomes like this. So the line of symmetry of this is this part. Okay. So it is again folded like this. So what will be the resultant shape? The resultant shape would be something like this. The resulting folded shape is again folded along its line of symmetry. So now this time the line of symmetry would be this. So it is now folded according to this shape. So this would be half a unit. Okay. The area of each face of the final folded shape in square units is equal to, well, area each face is not the right thing. The area of the face of the final folded, area of the face of the final folded shape in square units would be how much? Very simple. Let us see. This is 1 unit. This is a square after all. So this is 1 unit. So this is 1 unit. And by, since it's a square, it's a right angle. So by Pythagoras theorem, this will be root 2 units. Okay, 1 square plus 1 square whole root is whole root 2. That is root 2 units. Now in this case, this is whole root 2. But you have divided it into half. Okay, so this part as well, and the diagonals are equal. So this, both of these would be root 2 by 2. So this would be root 2 by 2, and this would also be root 2 by 2. So root 2 by 2 is what? It is 1 by root 2. So these are both 1 by root 2 now. Now you have folded according to this. So now this is 1 by root 2. Okay. So what will be its area? What will be this one? I hope you can understand. Now this diagonal is 1 unit. So this must be half of the diagonal. So this is half a unit. So this is also half a unit. So basically and you see half square plus half square whole root. half square plus half square whole root is indeed 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 whole root, that is half whole root, that is equal to 1 by root 2. So you see, this is 1 by root 2 and this is half and this is half. It perfectly corroborates. So the area of this is how much? Half into base into height, that is equal to 1 by 8. So this is our answer. Hope we have understood this. Let's go to the next one. That's it, ends there. So, well, thank you very much. These are the basic things.